Hey guys, Chandler here, back on my channel Alternate Journey, and today I'm going to be discussing about the biggest myths about being on testosterone. Basically explaining why those myths are false. So, let's just dive right on in. Testosterone is just for trans men. This is completely false. Testosterone is for anybody within their medical journey of transitioning. For trans men, non-binary individuals, just testosterone helps with a lot of individuals with their own type of dysphoria, whether they're trans or non-binary. But also, cis men go on testosterone to help with their side effects of low testosterone as well. But also, a lot of people don't realize this or come to terms with this, but a lot of cis women actually go on testosterone as well on very microscopic doses and everything, because cis women need testosterone as well for their body to function properly as well. Everyone is born with estrogen and testosterone, and we need those hormone levels set at a certain range depending on what your body is or what you are transitioning into to function properly and not have low testosterone side effects for cis men, but also health problems in cis women. Some of those health problems could include muscle weakness, fatigue, sleep disturbances, reduced sex drive, decreased sexual satisfaction, weight gain, and in fact, fertility issues. So it is actually very important for women to have their testosterone levels in a certain range as well. So anyone can go on testosterone for any reasoning at all. It just depends on their personal reasonings and their health concerns. Testosterone is the same as steroids. This is false to a degree. So basically, steroids that are used by bodybuilders and other athletes have testosterone in it, but it also has many other substances as well. So basically, the goal of hormone replacement therapy is to get your testosterone at a normal hormone level seen in cis men. But they will never give you such a high dose where you're going to experience those steroid effects. This is why you get blood tests done every 6 months to make sure that your levels are all good. People may associate it with steroid just because testosterone is one of the ingredients within steroids. So on its own, testosterone is not a steroid, it is a hormone. High testosterone doses equals better results. This is completely false. I know a lot of people think this. I know I've talked to many trans individuals, non-binary individuals over Instagram, on my Snapchat, through YouTube comments and stuff, where they just keep on, they're like, I can't wait until my dose is that high. And everyone's working up to what the coined term normal dose of testosterone by media and other YouTubers is 0.5 milliliters every week. But honestly, I'm at 0.4 and my hormone levels are completely in range. It's exactly where you want it. So I'm not going to increase my dose to the coined normal dose of 0.5 because my body doesn't need that. It's just 0.5 is the maximum dose that doctors regulated and stuff for individuals transitioning and just using the substance of testosterone for any other reasoning and stuff, because such higher dosages could have negative side effects on your body and stuff. So it's 0.5 is the highest that they kind of want to go. I'm sure with certain individuals they break that rule, but you're not just working up your way to get that 0.5 dosage. It does not mean that you're going to get better results if you start at a high dosage at first, or if you keep on increasing your dose. You only increase your dose if your hormone levels are not in the range that they should be. Everyone processes testosterone differently. Some side effects happen at different times. Some may occur more quickly, while others take time. After all, it depends on our genetics and how our body processes those hormones. And also, excess testosterone actually turns into estrogen, which is exactly what you don't want to happen. So that's why they monitor things, just so they know that it's in the right levels. You're getting the side effects that you want, and it doesn't turn into excess estrogen, because then ruining the fact that you're taking testosterone, because it's just turned right into estrogen. So it's just it's kind of pointless at that point. So having a high dose does not mean that your results are going to be better. It does not mean that you're going to have better facial hair. It does not mean that you're going to have a deeper voice. It does not mean that you're going to get broader faster than some other individual. Your starting dose depends on your weight and also your natural hormone levels to start with. Everyone has different levels when they start off their transition. After all, everyone's different. When you're on testosterone, you will get rage, mood swings, and testosterone will change who you are. This is completely false. Doctors will not prescribe such a high dosage of testosterone where you're going to get the steroid-like effects that it will mimic the road rage of a steroid user. That just never happens. Yes, mood swings, a lot of people say, is like one of the main side effects of testosterone. Some individuals never experience it, or they just are not aware of it. But basically, these mood swings stabilize within a few months of being on T, and you have these mood swings kind of because your body's getting used to hormones. Literally, it is a second puberty. So it's like that range of being like 10 to like 14. Think of all those individuals at that age going through puberty the first time, and hopefully just the only time for them. But it's just like, yeah, it's basically that. But yes, you are more mature, so you know how to like deal with your emotions and stuff like that. So it's like, I never really coined mine as like a mood swing. I just coined it as like a period of time where like I was just have more irritability, honestly. Like, but they definitely, like I had my biggest like irritability swings, or whatever you want to call them, when I was just doing bi-weekly shots, because my testosterone levels would be extremely high, and then they would just slowly drop down, and I have like such low T levels, and that would be like the time when like I became more irritable, when like I was about like 2 to 3 days until my next shot. So those definitely went away when I went on weekly shots, because now my testosterone levels are more consistent, and that's basically like what happens. It's just basically your hormones and stuff like that. Once you get at a period where your hormones are more stabilized, then you won't have those mood swings and irritability. And yeah, testosterone doesn't change who you are. You are still the same person that you were when you started your transition or medical journey. It's just, you become more confident, if anything. And that's not really changing who you are, it's showcasing more of who you are. Testosterone will make you bald or extremely hairy. False. It just activates your male genetics. So just because you started taking testosterone, it does not mean that you're just going to become a werewolf and have body hair everywhere. Yes, your hair does intensify, it does become coarser, darker, and you will grow hair in areas that you haven't. Like, typically people get a lot of hair on their stomach and stuff like that. But the amount of hair really depends on your genetics. And same with balding as well. Testosterone does not recede your hairline. Yes, a lot of individuals notice that their hairline recedes maybe a little bit. It's just like reducing to the more masculine hair shape. But after that point, like, it literally changes just a little bit. Like, that's just the normal male hair shape, hairline, whatever. But after that, like, it continues to recede, or like you have bald patches and stuff. That's just because of your genetics. So if you're really concerned, just look at your father and like all the males within your family from both sides of the family, because after all, you are the product of those two genetics mixed combined. So just look at them, and just, you can determine what your outcome will be once you release those male genetics. So if you have family members that are bald, you might be bald. If you have family members that have a really good like beard structure, then you're most likely to grow good facial hair. But remember, it still takes time. Not everyone gets like a mustache within the first year or whatever and stuff like that. Typically, it takes like 3 to 4 years for your facial hair to actually like really grow out, and it'll be patchy at first. So just be aware of that. So personally with me, on both sides of my family, the men had really good beards, so that's awesome because I've always wanted a beard. The hair though, it's kind of tricky, because like my biological father, he died when when he was like 40 or something like that. His hair looked alright, I guess. I don't know. He wasn't really much in my life, but he definitely had like, his father definitely had like a receding hairline and kind of balding, and then same with like my mom's father. So it's just like, I might have like an extreme widow's peak, I might be bald, I hope I'm not, but then again, like, I'm okay with it if I have a nice beard, because then I can be that old man that wears a fedora all the time with a nice beard, covered in tattoos. I mean, that won't be that bad, so, but still, if we're hoping here, like, I need hair, because then that would just make the look even sexier, you know? Like, I want to be a silver fox when I grow older, just saying. You cannot get pregnant on testosterone. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your journey and like what you want in your life, this is false. Testosterone does decrease ovary activity. People can and do get pregnant still while on testosterone. But if you do become pregnant, you have to stop taking testosterone because it could have side effects on the baby and stuff. There is no definitive study that shows how much testosterone decreases your chance of getting pregnant. Or all your doctors will tell you this. A lot of doctors actually suggest that you freeze your eggs or something just in case you can't become pregnant after testosterone, because if you do plan to have a natural born family or use your eggs and get like a surrogate or something like that, you would have to go off testosterone. You would have to do estrogen shots for 2 weeks just to wake those eggs back up or whatever. And then like they check the fertility of it, and then they can freeze them, or at that time harvest. Yeah, harvest them and put some sperm in them, and then shove them into a surrogate and stuff. So yeah, there's many different fertility options for trans individuals. People on testosterone can still actually take birth control. You can take birth control that is progesterone based if you're worried about adding estrogen to your system, because there is estrogen based, not testosterone, estrogen based birth controls. Yeah, just make sure it's progesterone based. Just ask your doctors and stuff like that, or go to Planned Parenthood and they can definitely help you out as well. If you're on testosterone, you have to get a hysterectomy within 10 years. This is false. Actually, so my doctor actually said this as well. Like, okay, so my doctor actually suggested this as well, to get hysterectomy. Actually, he said it within like 5 years. So let me just explain. You might get a little dysphoric just because I'm saying certain biological terms, but you can be on testosterone and still have a uterus fully intact if you plan to use it in order to have children and stuff. Because remember, cis women can go on testosterone as well because they need it for fertility reasonings. So yes, women aren't typically on testosterone too long where they're going to be on it for 5 to 10 years. They just use it for like a quick fix, like maybe 6 months to a year or so, depending on their health conditions. But there are some cis women that actually need it throughout life because their body just doesn't process testosterone at a level that it should. So it really does just depend on the person, but like you can still have an intact uterus for fertility reasonings and stuff like that, where you just like don't care about having uterus or whatever. But this assumption just was made by doctors because there was basically a study that showed testosterone increases the risk of getting ovarian cancer. This was just because most likely trans men and non-binary individuals medically transitioning were less likely to get pap smears. Obviously, it's one of those doctor visits that causes extreme dysphoria and stuff like that. So it's just like, if you don't get hysterectomy, just know that you gotta do that. If there's any issues, like just be aware of your body. Like yes, it's uncomfortable as hell, but like you still gotta be like cautious of your body and stuff like that, and take care of it. If you never plan to have children, and like birth the children yourself, just get a hysterectomy so you don't have to go through like pap smears and stuff like that. Just do that. It also decreases your chances of randomly getting your menstrual cycle back, because like that's one of the side effects of having low testosterone, and sometimes your body just has low testosterone, even like if say you are in normal range, like doing 0.4 every week and stuff like that, but sometimes your body's like, this isn't enough anymore, like your body just wants more of it. It's just, your body's weird. So yeah, it just decreases, like if you don't have a uterus, then you won't get that. So, but no, testosterone on itself does not increase your risk of getting cancer. Testosterone makes you gay. I think this is like one of the funniest myths and stuff, because like if that was the case, then like the whole gay agenda would be like about giving everyone testosterone to make everyone gay. Like, I don't know, it's just, this one just made me laugh because it does not make sense at all. Your gender and your transitioning has nothing to do with your sexuality. And just because you transition does not mean that your sexuality changes. If anything, the label may change. So like say you are a AFAB, meaning assigned female at birth, and you always dated women, so obviously you were coined as a lesbian. Maybe you were fine with that term and stuff like that, but when then you realize that you were trans and stuff, so you start transitioning. Like, so you don't even have to start transitioning. As soon as you come out as a trans man, and like you say like your labels are he, him and stuff, then you're a man. Then once you realize that you're a trans man, you're not a lesbian anymore, because obviously a lesbian is a woman loving a woman. You're a man loving women and stuff like that, therefore you are straight. You are still within the community though, because you're trans and stuff, but yeah, you're straight. A lot of people say this because after being on testosterone and going through their medical journey for a bit, they just become more comfortable with who they are, and like their dysphoria lessens. Dysphoria unfortunately never really 100% goes away, and they come to terms with their true selves, and then they're not as dysphoric to start loving men. Like, they always realized that they were bisexual and stuff. So it doesn't make you gay just because you're randomly attracted to guys now. It's just because you always kind of, like, I've talked to a lot of trans individuals because, like, they said that they just, like, they always felt dysphoric dating a man because, like, that's what they were supposed to be. So they felt like if they were dating a man and stuff like that, they would always, like, compare themselves to them because they weren't cis. And it's just, like, just because they had natural parts and stuff like that, they would give them extreme dysphoria. But, like, after a while, you become more comfortable and confident with yourselves. And it's just like you come to terms with who you truly are and stuff. So therefore, it's just like the sexuality, they're not afraid to, like, embrace it anymore and stuff. So, like, no, it doesn't make you gay. You were always gay. So, yeah, I don't know. I was always bisexual. But me, I was different. I wasn't dating women before I was out because I didn't want to be coined a lesbian. Because, like, I always hated that term. Not, I don't hate lesbians, obviously. It's just I hate that term because unknowingly I, like, always knew I was trans and stuff. And it's just, like, I always hated being labeled extremely feminine things and stuff like that. Anything that had to be, like, labeled as a woman, I always hated. And I never knew why. But it's, like, obviously, now, when you look back, you're like, oh, that was dysphoria. I get it. Okay. So yeah, but no, now I'm, like, bisexual. If anything, testosterone made me straight, I guess, because I always dated men. Interesting. And then, last but not least, just a fun little myth for you guys. Testosterone is from bull balls. I don't know where I found this one, but, like, I've seen, like, a lot of memes kind of about it and stuff like that, and it's just, like, no, I don't think anyone really thinks this is true. I think this was just, like, created as a meme, as a joke for people that were, like, on testosterone and stuff like that. Like, we just created it and stuff because, like, we hear a bunch of stupid myths, so we, like, started to, like, create one, and then people actually started to believe it was true. But no, testosterone does not come from bull balls. All the injectable patches and gels based testosterone is made in a lab from plant sources. So there you go. And so yeah, that being said, basically testosterone on itself is vegan, although I don't know if it was tested on animals, so if you want to know about that, I would do a little more research. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below other myths that you heard about being on testosterone, because some of them are just extremely funny and most of them are just completely ignorant. These were more kind of like medical myths about being on testosterone, so if you guys want me to do, like, absurd, like, Karen myths about being on testosterone, please comment that down below, because that would be extremely funny, and also to debunk these myths would be, like, very educational to people that don't know anything about testosterone or anything about medically transitioning. Please like this video, because it definitely helps out my channel. And yeah, definitely ring that bell down below so you can get notifications whenever I upload. And yeah, definitely subscribe if you are new to my channel so you can get more videos and content like this, but also I do a lot of fun random videos as well. Just check it out. I have a lot of videos on my channel now. And yeah, I make videos whenever I can, but you can always expect important updates on my transition. Alright, see you guys.